morning learners. I am Jisha MS. Today we will discuss introduction of genetics. Through this class we will try to learn what is genetics and the common terminology used in genetics. And let's start the topic. What is genetics? As you all know, it's a branch of biology that deals with heredity and variation of an organism. Or it's a field of biology that studies how characters are passed from parents to their progeny. Then what is heredity or inheritance? It is the passing or transmission of biological information from parents to progeny and its further utilization in the development and functioning of an organism. It helps organisms to resemble their parents, or simply the heredity means the transmission of characters from parents to offspring. Then what is variation? It is the tendency of organisms to differ from their parents. So now you know what is heredity and variation. From these photos you can see the resemblance and the variation among the fathers and their progenies. The heredity and variation happen due to molecules called DNA. It carries all the genetic information of an organism. And what are genes? Genes, it's a specific part of DNA molecule that carries a specific information for one specific protein. So this is the DNA molecule, and gene is a specific part or segment of this DNA molecule that carries the specific information for one specific protein. So we have numerous number of genes which code for our different characters. So genes are the basic unit of heredity, and the genes of an individual are determined by their parents. Then what are chromosomes? Where is this gene located? Chromosomes are the carriers of genes or the hereditary information. They can control heredity and variation. In the cell's nucleus, the DNA molecule is tightly packed into a thread-like structures called a chromosome. This is chromosome. Inside the cell's nucleus, we can see that number of chromosomes. These chromosomes are made up of tightly packed DNA strands and some proteins called histones. And the number of chromosomes that varies between organisms and species. We have humans have 46 number of chromosomes we have 23 pairs of chromosome. 23 chromosome from father and 23 chromosome from mother. So we have total 46 chromosomes. Hope you are clear about chromosomes. Gregor Johann Mendel. He is known as the father of modern genetics, and he was an Austrian monk who discovered the basic principles of heredity through crossing or hybridization experiments in garden pea plants. And these experiments provided the foundations of our current knowledge of how genetic material is passed from parents to the progeny. And his life history spanned the middle of 19th century, and his parents were farmers, and he completed his theological studies and was ordained as a priest, and he opted the profession of a teacher and joined the University of Vienna, taking a course in science and mathematics. This helped him to designing and analyzing experimental data. And in 1854, he joined Brunn Modern School as a teaching monk, where he began his genetic experiments that made him famous. and he started his experiment in around 1854, and he performed his hybridization experiments in garden pea to understand the mechanism of heredity. And he began to study the passing of hereditary characters in plant hybrids. All that time, it was generally accepted that the hereditary characters of the progeny were due to the diluted blending of all the characters which are present in the parents. And he continued his experiments over 8 years. And his findings were presented before the Natural History Society of Brünn, and Mendel's ideas published in 1866 under the title Experiments in Plant Hybridization, and he tried to explain how the characters of organisms are inherited. But the scientific community did not accept his work until early in the 20th century. Mendel died on January 6, 1884 as an unrecognized and bitterly disappointed man, and his works remain unnoticed for more than 3 decades. His valuable contributions, which laid the solid foundations of modern genetics, remained in darkness for 33 years. And years later, when Mendel's study informed the work of several geneticists, botanists, and biologists conducting study on heredity, that its significance was more fully appreciated, and his studies began to be named as laws of Mendel or Mendelian laws. In 1900, Karl Correns, a botanist from Germany, and Hugo de Vries, a geneticist and botanist from Holland, and Erich von Techomer, an Austrian botanist, repeated Mendel's observations, and thus they independently rediscovered Mendelian findings. Later, Bateson confirmed Mendel's findings through repeated hybridization experiments, and he coined the term genetics. Now we can familiarize some of the common terms used in genetics. First one is gene. As I already said, gene is the hereditary factor. It's a segment of DNA sequence encoding a single protein. In eukaryotes, a gene occupies a specific position in a chromosome called a gene locus. And then next one is genome. It is the complete set of genetic information carried by a gamete. Another important term is homologous chromosome. It is a pair of identical chromosomes which are morphologically very similar and contains the same linear sequence of genes. And one of them is coming from paternal side and other one is from maternal side. That is, this is an example for homologous chromosome, and one coming from father's side and other from mother's side. So these chromosomes are morphologically looking very similar and contains same linear sequence of genes. Next one is allele. Alleles, they are the alternative forms of a gene which occupy identical loci on homologous chromosomes and control the contrasting forms of the same character. Usually a gene exists in two allelic forms, that is this capital letter Y that denotes dominant, and this small letter y denotes recessive. And the dominant allele would be expressed always, but the recessive allele expressed only in the absence of the dominant allele. Suppose this homologous pair in this locus, this is called Y locus, and suppose this Y is for cotyledon color, capital Y for yellow cotyledon and small y for green cotyledon. So these these homologous chromosomes contain the specific linear sequences for this cotyledon color. Just like in another homologous chromosomes, this site is for R locus. This R locus, suppose this for seed shape, and a capital R for smooth or round seed shape, and small r for wrinkled seed shape. So a gene exists in two forms, that is called allele. They are the alternative forms of a gene. Let's see what is genotype. Genotype is the genetic constitution of genetic makeup of an organism, and whereas the phenotype is the observable or physical appearance of an organism. That is, phenotype represents only the expressed genes, and genotype represents the sum total of the expressed and suppressed genes. And phenotype is not determined by the genotype, but also phenotype is determined not only by the genotype but also by the interaction between genotype and the environment. The interaction between genotype and environment creates the observable character, that is the phenotype. Here you can see that the stem length, it is an observable character. The tall character of this plant is an observable character, but its genetic constitution, the gene for its tall character, is not observable here. That is the genotype, and the length of this plant, that is a tall character, is the observable character, that is the phenotype. Just like here, it is the short dwarf plant, it is an observable character, that is the phenotypic character of this plant, but its genetic constitution, whether it is small t or capital T, it is not observable. Let's learn homozygous and heterozygous condition. And homozygous and heterozygous are terms that are used to describe allelic pairs, and individuals carrying two identical alleles, that is just like capital B, or the recessive small b, they are called, that condition is called homozygous condition. But the individual organism which carry different alleles, one from dominant and other from recessive, that is capital B, small b, that condition is called heterozygous condition. And for example, suppose that the gene for eye color has two alleles. One allele codes for black color, and small b codes for blue color. And the homozygous will have the same color allele on homologous pairs, that is capital B or small b. These two conditions are called homozygous condition. But heterozygous will have different alleles on homologous pair of chromosomes, just like this capital B or small b, and this condition is called a heterozygous condition. Next important term is hemizygosity, and it is the condition in which one or more genes are present only in one copy instead of two copy, just like in homozygous and heterozygous condition. And this is characterized by having one or more genes without its allelic counterparts. This is the diagram is showing hemizygous condition, and these are the homologous chromosomes which size difference, but here this part, this gene C, the locus for this gene has no counterparts in this chromosome. So this chromosome contains only one allele for this specific character. That condition is called a hemizygous condition or hemizygosity. Let's see dominance and recessiveness. We have already mentioned what is dominant and recessive character. Dominance is the ability of an allele to express itself phenotypically both in the homozygous and heterozygous condition. In this diagram we can see that the purple flower color is represented by the letter capital R, and in the first progeny, the progeny produced after the first hybridization experiment is called F1 generation, that produce capital R, small r in the heterozygous condition. where itself the capital R express the purple color. So recessive character is the failure of an allele to express its phenotypic presence in the heterozygous condition. It its phenotypic character is expressed only in the recessive, this homozygous condition. That's why small r only produce the white flower color. Next important term is hybridization. Hybridization is the process of crossing between genetically different organisms, and hybridization results in the formation of hybrids. That is, it is the product of the fusion between two genetically different organisms. Maybe they are progeny of parents that differ in genetically determined characters, and the parents may be from different species, genus, or rarely from different families. Next one is heterosis. Heterosis is the increase in characteristics like size, vitality, growth rate, fertility, yield and fitness of a hybrid organism over those of its parents. That is in another terms, that is in another way we can define that heterosis is the superiority of the F1 hybrids over their parents. In this figure you can see that this is the two parents, and you can see different hybrids in this. The F1 is the first female generation or the first hybrid. It shows superiority over their parents in terms of their size, shape and vigor, and this is called heterosis. Let's see what is monohybrid cross. It is a cross between two individual organisms which differ from each other with respect to one pair of alleles under study. In this cross only one pair of character is considered, just like tall or dwarf character, or flower color purple or white flower characters, just like its dominant and recessive characters. In a dihybrid cross, the parental organisms differ from each other with respect to two pairs of alleles under study. Here the scientist will consider two characters at a time. Just like in this example, yellow cotyledon color and round seed shape, that is the dominant character. Here green and wrinkled seed, that is the recessive character. So two pairs of characters are considered in the dihybrid cross, that is called a dihybrid cross. Next common terminology is backcross. Backcross, it is the crossing of an F1 hybrid or F1 offspring with one of its parents or with an individual genetically identical to one of the parents. Next one is test cross. Test cross is the crossing of an F1 hybrid with a homozygous recessive parental progeny. It is done in order to test whether the progeny is homozygous or heterozygous for a character under consideration. Next one is Punnett square or square checkerboard. It was devised by R.C. Punnett, and it is used to represent the gametic fusion and also to determine the genotype of the zygotes. In it, the gamete of one parent is written along the top of a series of square, and those of the other parent are written down on the left side, and the products of various gametic combination are written in the appropriate boxes just like this for estimating their relative number. So these are gametes of the parents, and these are the progenies obtained from the gametic fusion, and these are represented through the Punnett square devised by R.C. Punnett. So in order to understand the basic concepts of genetics, this much information or terms are now enough. So in the next class we will learn Mendelian laws. I hope this session was useful to you. Thank you for listening.